Coming up on Mountain News this morning, people in Danville are mourning a young man killed in a car crash. And officials in Pike County voted for a second time to breach a contract with a private landfill company, leaving the county's landfill situation in limbo.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Welcome to Mountain News This Morning. I'm Neely Green, live on air with you on this Wednesday, March 5th. The time is now 6:29, and let's check in with meteorologist Megan Duswell for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, I'm just so happy to be here on this Thursday with you.
I'm happy to be here with you as well, Miss Neely Green and Jean. I said that earlier. I thought that was funny. She's wearing a jean dress. You'll see that in a second. But what you need to wear this morning, maybe just a light sweater because it is perfect outside. Nice and dry, but rain is on the way, as you can see that just up to the north of us. That's what we'll see by the afternoon, but temperatures are just beautiful, a mixture of the 50s and 60s, and by the afternoon, even better temperatures in the 70s, about 20 degrees warmer than we should be for this time of year for many folks. So keep that in mind as you're getting ready for the day. Here's what you need to know, though. High temperatures will be around that 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock time frame, with folks more towards the west seeing a higher chance for rain. Overall, though, a lot of folks will be staying dry with partly cloudy skies. Neely.
Thank you, Megan. One person is dead after a vehicle fire in Laurel County. East Bernstadt Fire and Rescue crews were called to El Gabbard Road near Rockcastle County just before 3 yesterday afternoon to a car fire with a person possibly trapped inside. When firefighters arrived, the vehicle was fully engulfed in flames. Crews were able to get into the vehicle, where they found one person dead. Officials say they're not releasing the victim's identity at this time as the investigation continues. People in Danville are mourning a young man killed in a car crash on Tuesday. 27-year-old Michael Mingy was involved in a crash on US 127. He died at the hospital. Those who knew Mingy say he left his mark on Bull County. They say he'll be remembered for helping others and being involved in the community.
I think it makes for a really strong community if you have that kind of person. And again, it's beyond political, it's beyond a lot of the other social issues that we seem to divide ourselves, is to have an individual like that that just pretty much loves everyone in the community.
A Danville restaurant honored Mingy's memory by donating a portion of their sales yesterday to his family. Officials in Pike County voted for a second time to breach a contract with a private landfill company, leaving the county's landfill situation in limbo. The Pike County Fiscal Court hosted its regular meeting Tuesday night, during which the 3 commissioners voted to pull out of the publicly criticized contract. Judge Executive Ray Jones voted against the decision, saying the county now has no plan for the future. The meeting allowed the public comment, during which many people said they are happy with the partnership and is now over, and they want the public included in the next steps.
I would like to see it, investigated to see if we could do like Floyd County or some of these neighboring counties to see about maybe setting up transfer programs to move this trash to other areas and, to preserve, in my opinion, the best natural resource we got.
Jones says the move to cancel the contract was not in the best interest of Pike County's future, and he fears it will deter other potential businesses from coming to the county. 2 years ago, a study was conducted with the Army Corps of Engineers showing that if they built a canal east of Clay City in Powell County, it would divert part of the Red River floodwaters and dump the overflow into the Kentucky River, saving nearby properties. The Deputy Director of Emergency Management says the project was moving forward through FEMA funding, but last year that grant was rescinded.
We would have to come up with over $400,000 for a cost analysis feasibility study for the canal itself before we start seeking grant funding for the actual canal, which could cost in excess of $20 million, which Powell County does not have.
Babcock says residents have endured millions of dollars of flood damage since the 1970s, and a solution should have already been in place. Churchill Downs and Woodford Reserve unveiled the artwork for the 2026 Kentucky Derby bottle. The artwork called Dress to Impress 152 was created by University of Louisville graduate Anna Murphy. Murphy is originally from England, and her parents met when her dad was on a work trip to Kentucky for the Derby. Her piece features the iconic red roses and a variety of fashion pieces worn by attendees.
My dad is from England, and he came to Kentucky for the Derby of 1983 for work, and he met my mother there. So the Derby for me is personal, and this is a wonderful career milestone for me.
How do you like to?
The 152nd running of the Kentucky Derby is slated for Saturday, May 2nd. Monday was Dr. Seuss's birthday, and many schools across the country celebrated. And yesterday, here in Perry County, an elementary school kept the fun going. I have more on Hazard's version of Read Across America. From Little Critter to Pete the Cat, all kinds of book characters came to life at Roy G. Eversole Elementary School on Wednesday with a little help from some special guests.
By having readers come in from the community, parents, grandparents, and they all come in and read to our kids.
The school spent the morning celebrating Read Across America Week, something the preschoolers tell me they love. What's been your favorite part of today?
Books.
Books? Do you like to read?
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite book you like to read or hear?
Cat in the Hat.
Cat in the Hat. And today isn't just for the kids, it's also for the volunteers who are dipping their toes into the world of education.
This day is special to me because it just reminds me of when I was little and how much I enjoyed it, and how much, hopefully, when I'm a teacher, that kids will enjoy it then too.
Feltner says it's always special to see the high schools getting involved and doing what they can to inspire the little ones.
And the kids love our high school students. They kind of look up to them, and they love them, and the high school students just take these kids under their wings, and they just love them.
She says it's great to see all kinds of community members pouring into the little minds of Hazard. First Alert meteorologist Megan Desmond and I also participated, reading Oh, the Places You'll Go and One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish to preschoolers and fourth graders. This morning, Iran is warning the United States will, quote, bitterly regret it after a U.S. submarine sank an Iranian warship, killing dozens. The Pentagon says the U.S. campaign against Iran is now accelerating, with military leaders vowing to strike even deeper inside Iranian territory. And Iran, meantime, is launching its own attacks with missiles and drones that have sent sirens blaring in Israel and left civilians in neighboring countries saying they're caught in the crossfire. Iran is also pushing back on claims it targeted NATO ally Turkey, denying it fired missiles at Turkish airspace.
We're doing very well on the war front, to put it mildly.
According to a human rights group, more than 1,000 people in Iran have been killed since the conflict began. Senator Mitch McConnell talked about the war, saying, quote, the consequences of successfully ending Iran's decades-long war against America and our allies and partners would reach far beyond the Middle East. This is evident in the way Russian and Chinese officials quickly condemned U.S. and Israeli operations and their unwillingness or inability to come to Tehran aid in a meaningful way. During this legislative session, lawmakers in West Virginia have been debating whether high school athletes should still be allowed to freely transfer between schools. A law passed in 2023 opened the door for players to move without sitting out a year, something lawmakers now call a free-for-all and the Wild West. Tuesday, the House of Delegates passed a bill that would fully repeal that law and go back to the old rules where players could only transfer before their freshman year or back to their home school over the summer unless their family moved.
But we can't have the free-for-all like we currently have now. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting very, very poor.
The bill now heads to the state Senate, where it will need enough support there before it can make its way to Governor Patrick Morrisey's desk. Kentucky lawmakers say they are focused on pushing energy-related bills through this year's legislative session. Senate Bill 8 would change the makeup of that agency that oversees rate changes. Senator Brandon Smith, who's sponsoring the bill, says it would increase the Public Service Commission from 3 to 5 members.
We want to have more, and we want to have it diverse, and we want to have them paid, and we want them to have the technology to be able to tackle and represent Kentucky in the best way.
Kentucky's Public Service Commission spokesperson says they do not have a comment on the bill at this time. The Appalachian Citizens Law says they have a problem with part of the bill they claim would prevent their representation of ratepayer interest. Staying in Frankfort, schools in Kentucky classify sunscreen as a medicine, which means some students need a prescription to bring it to school. Yesterday, a new bill moved through Frankfort to get rid of that rule. House Bill 586 clarifies that sunscreen is not medication. It is sponsored by Representative Mike Kleins. He says many districts prohibit students from having or applying sunscreen at school or during school events without a prescription. This bill would allow students to carry and apply FDA-approved sunscreen in all Kentucky schools. It passed the House and now moves to the Senate. As you may have heard, Hazard Zone Landon Hughes was eliminated from American Idol this week, but he is certainly not finished performing. Organizers with the Black Gold Festival announced Hughes will open for John Foster in his hometown on Saturday, September 19th. Hughes will be on stage at 7 p.m. Foster was runner-up on American Idol last season.
A little jump scare from Neely right there. Here's a look at those temperatures as you're heading out the door this morning. Looking at the 60s, definitely an enjoyable start to your day. By the time we head into the afternoon, we'll be warming up. We're going to see a mixture of those 70s. You'll notice it is a tad chillier for those folks in the far western portion of the region, only getting to the low 70s for Mount Vernon, Irvine, and Moorhead because they have the highest chances of seeing some of that rain. Looking at satellite radar, though, we are nice and clear right now. That rain won't be entering our region until we head into the later afternoon hours around that noon time frame. Here's what you need to know, though. 60s as you're heading off to school, 70s as you're heading home. Now back to Neely.
Well, thank you, Megan, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:41 and still to come on Mountain News this morning.
Spreading a love of reading in a place you may not expect. I'm Jared Hill with how corner stores are becoming hubs for learning where bookstores are hard to come by.